light from a few can be a beacon to many. Welcome to Star Wars Hopecast.
Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Hopecast, the Star Wars The Old Republic podcast. I'm Varigan.
And I'm Saya.
And I'm Laurie.
And ladies, there is something in the air. Do you feel that?
I do.
Oh gosh, I'm gushing.
It's episode number 6, and there's love in the air. Happy Valentine's Day. As the day of this release will be on Valentine's Day. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. We're going to talk about SWTOR relationships, and part of our Galactic Gossip Day is going to be about that tricky little demon we all call love, or some of us call like very much, however you want to put it. So, but first, let's get down to the day as usual, and as always, it's been a couple weeks, so let's see what we've been doing in game. Saya, let's start with you.
I've reconnected with my one true love of hard mode, Operation Progression. We actually had our hard mode team is really getting together, and we're getting more people geared, and we're getting more alts geared, and I finally got to hop into a secondary group, and I got to do the first hard mode boss of each of the new operations, and our guild started on hard mode Bulo, better known as the beer boss. I got to run around, and we actually got it down, and that was great. And then we did hard mode Underworld Lurker last night. We weren't able to beat it. We spent 3 solid hours learning it, but it was actually really good progress while we were doing it. We'll get it soon, I'm sure. I've been working on my poor Sage. I know you were making fun of me a couple episodes ago for having 3 consulars, so you'd think I would know how to play it by now. But my poor Sage, me and DPS are just not connecting, and trying so hard, but I think I'm probably going to stick to heals or tank for doing actually well. And other than that, I've just been doing a lot of crafting and gathering. I've been trying to get all my characters augmented up and having the better mods and augmenting up friends myself, because I've never actually gotten to do it myself. I always relied on guildmates and just passing on materials, but I've been REing and I've been gathering on Yavin and just making money as well. It's awesome.
Nice. It's good making your own money. That's definitely a good way to go with things. I've not gotten into the crafting game yet, but when I see the kind of money that, you know, some of our heavy crafters are pulling through, even though the market got a little crazy there, makes me think about it.
I will never get into crafting. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. I'll just let V make things and then sell them and make me money.
The easy mode version of it is get a 500 gathering discipline and go to Yavin and just run around and get the bajillions of nodes and sell the mats. Done. Rich.
Now, I do that with the slicing, because they have all those money nodes, and I just, hundreds of thousands of credits there.
Oh yeah, that one. I do the slicing, but that's about it.
Alrighty. Well, Laurie, what about your last couple weeks? What have you been up to?
I'm actually really excited because I have a pet project. Most of you guys know that I have been maining on the Imperial side a lot lately. So I actually put together our first Imperial progression team in quite a long time. We're doing pretty nicely. We're just doing 55s right now because, we were just starting, trying to get mechanics, trying to, see how the group works together. We actually finished and completed Dread Palace last night, which was our second attempt. Our first attempt, we got all the way until the Dread Council, and then, our heals had to go, so that's the only reason why we didn't finish it last week. So last night, actually, last Sunday, we actually finished the Dread Palace completely, and next week we're going to start on the 60s stuff. So next week we're going to do Ravagers. So I'm excited for that. I'm also currently working on my Bounty Hunter, and here's the surprise I have for you guys. The reason I'm working on my Bounty Hunter. So this started as a joke, but now we're going to do it. We are going to do a full Mandalorian progression ops team. So all of us are going to put on full Mando gear. But the joke part of it is one of our guildmates, his PvE gear, he has a female toon, and his PvE gear is little to no clothing. He has the relaxed jumpsuit top, so it's like a tube bra, and then the slave dancer bottoms, and that's all his PvE gear consists of with mods in it. And so we're going to put him in with our Mandalorian progression team. So it's going to be 7 people in full Mandalorian armor and then this naked woman running around with us doing progressions. So I'm pretty excited because that's going to be fun. We're going to take a bunch of pictures and stick them up on the guild website. So that's what I've been up to.
Wow. Okay. Well, that leaves it to me, I suppose. So I have upgraded. Ladies, I have come into the world of true gaming. I have picked up a gaming mouse. And I got a Red Dragon, not a Razer. It seems like everyone says, when you get a game mouse, like, get a Razer. No. Well, yes, if you like Razer, go for a Razer. But I, one, don't know how to use these mice, and two, did not want to spend $100 on a quality Razer gaming mouse. So there's a company called Red Dragons, comes out somewhere, I don't know. I don't care, because they were $40 with shipping.
How many buttons does your mouse have, Virigan?
12 at the thumb. Plus, it's a 12-button mouse. It's a gaming mouse. I got the 12 buttons at the thumb. I got my left mouse, right mouse, scroll wheel, and a secret left mouse button on the side for when I do Guild Wars 2. That's my switch weapons button, which is really convenient, so I don't have to go anywhere. So it's just like, it works great, and it's got a little button on it that you control the DPI. So I've actually got set a little low because I'm still learning, and I've been getting there. It's a lot of learning, and I do want to do an episode one day about binding, key binding, and going from having a keyboard key bind where I was a heavy binder to using that mouse and not moving my hand. It's been a really interesting transition.
Oh, yes, please, let's do that, because I'm in the gaming Stone Age. I have a 2-button mouse.
And,
yeah, me too.
2-button mouse with a scroll wheel.
and I ask you now, is not your entire left side of your keyboard totally rebound so you can do stuff?
Yes, it definitely is.
Yes.
You know,
But I like being a grandma.
I do. I like my WASD and my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
well, and I did through 6, and then QERT, FG, Z, B, whatever. We'll do that later. But anyway, it's been an interesting change to go from a key binder to a mouse binder, so it's really interesting, and it's a lot more fun. It's like a whole new set of games. I'm trying to learn it. I am still, so the practice is running dailies. I have a bounty hunter. It's at 60. I want to use with the imperial progression as we progress, or maybe the Mando progression, apparently.
Yeah, we can get you in that.
There might be a spot for my poor bounty hunter in that.
Yeah.
But I need gear. So this is a great opportunity for me to learn, is get those dailies, get those basic comms, try and resist the urge to move my finger up to that one on the keyboard and instead use that one with my thumb. So that's been a lot of my stuff for these last couple weeks. It's just been a lot of transition, a lot of fun. So, all right. And with that, let's get on to the news in the guild. And actually, it's kind of one of those busy weekends where, weekend, because it's happening right now as you're listening to this. There's a lot going on. So at the time of this release, we're in a double XP weekend from February 13th to the 16th. The Bounty Week had been going on this entire week. It ends on the 17th, so if you haven't done it yet, what are you doing? Go get you a bounty or two. Get a few cartel certificates and buy you a bartender.
This will be my first one.
And those certificates work for those too, so keep that in mind. Your NPCs from the decoration vendor are cartel certificates, so you can get a couple of those. And the Gree event comes on the 24th. This is big stuff that the guild's actually been excited about. You're hearing people's like, Gree's coming back, Gree's coming back, Gree is coming back.
I'm so excited!
I'm glad someone else
gosh,
excited to be.
Gree! Maybe I won't die all the time this time, because I'll be higher than level 15.
There you go. See,
I'm really excited for it. It was supposed to come back somewhere during the winter, the earlier part of the winter, but they couldn't resolve how to make it work with level 60, so it got pushed way back.
Well, and I think they had a bunch of stuff going on during winter too, like with the rat ghouls and stuff. So, I mean, it makes sense that they'd push it back.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, and now does that mean, so the Gree is in the conquest cycle, right? That's a conquest week.
Yeah.
That Gree falls into now, so.
Yeah.
So, it's a shame they haven't put bounty in the cycle, because it's like, I remember when we were first doing conquest, we were real hot and heavy, and a bounty week came up at the same time, and no one did the bounty week, because everyone was doing the conquest.
Yeah, I completely ignored it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if that was part of the cycle like the Gree event's about to be, which actually is a good way to bring back recurring events on a regular cycle. I like that. You know, it's like, so instead of being like, when's the next Oracle event? We know it's coming, it's in the conquest cycle. So, I like that a lot. Other thing to keep in mind, of course, is from the guild's point of view, from our guild Remnants of Hope, one of the big things that's happened is we have a new recruitment officer. So congratulations to Orlin. I'm going to go ahead and name drop right there, just because that's what this particular piece is about. So we have a new recruitment officer. If you're on the Jungma server and want to talk to somebody about the guild, she is phenomenal. She's been playing with us for a while. She's got a great attitude, and I'm looking forward to working with her. So that's going to be awesome. The other thing in our event is a cool crossover event. So on the 21st of February on the Jungma server, there's going to be an RP and charity event hosted by Penumbra. It's called Siren's Song. And this actually is a neat crossover in that it is actually going to be supporting the Child's Play charity. For those who don't know what Child's Play is, it is a pretty much a gamers charity. It is an opportunity for gamers to get money to children, to provide. It provides everything from equipment to hospitals, domestic violence shelters.
If you've ever seen like the speed plays that they do, where they stream those on Twitch, that's a lot of times through Child's Play, where they'll like do speed run-throughs of like 8-bit games like Mario and stuff like that to raise money. That's the charity that they're going through. So.
And a lot of the mission of the Child's Play charity is very much for children who are in really bad situations, to bring them, one, it does help provide equipment and things for hospitals and domestic violence shelters, my apologies, but it also is to bring a little bit of fun to kids who don't have a chance to have fun. So a chance to bring a game into a hospital, bring a game to these domestic violence shelters where these kids are coming from terrible situations, or they're experiencing terrible things while they're in the hospital, and they just want to have a little fun. They want to be a kid. That's what Child's Play is doing. They have raised $14,211,962 since 2003, since their inception. And they are continuing to function every day for gamers across the world. It's a very good charity. So if you even get a chance, if you even just have a chance to just make a character on Jungma and come and join us, it's on the 21st of February, and it's hosted by Penumbra. It is a dual faction event. Weapons are heavily discouraged. It is not about RP grudges. It's about coming together for a common cause. And as a gaming community, this is something that I can really get behind.
Yeah, the really cool thing about it is, too, because I'm actually I'm getting to be pretty good friends with the guild leader of Penumbra. She's pretty awesome. They're going to have a widget going to show how much money has been donated for their event. They're actually going to, put out a link every once in a while for people that are attending the event to donate. And basically, if you donate, you don't have to, but it's kind of an incentive to donate if you would like. When you're there, you'll whisper her, and once you whisper her, you'll let her know, your character name and how much you donated. And to all the people that donated, even if they only donated like $5 or $1 or something, they're going to get put into a raffle for a 2,400 cartel coin gift card. So, I mean, it's just a great event. I mean, you don't have to donate to go there. They're going to be streaming the whole thing live on Twitch to kind of get people that might be watching it to donate too. So it's definitely a cool event. It's going to be really fun. They want formal clothing because they're going to make it like an opera gallery. So it's really cool. I like it. I like the whole idea of it.
So, and that's the big stuff in the game, and specifically that our guild is actually caring about right now. And as I've said before, if you want a full coverage of the news in Star Wars: The Old Republic, there are several fantastic podcasts that do a tremendous job of giving the A to Z and having a lot of the commentary. Because they do such a good job, it makes no sense for us to go over all of the nitty-gritty. That's just some of the exciting things that we're looking forward to from our side. So, with that, it brings us to our galactic gossip topic for this episode. What is love, baby? Don't hurt me. I keep saying that because I like the song. What is love, baby? Don't hurt me. Okay, I can't do it anymore because we'll be copyrighted. I can't do it anymore. But anyway,
Save it for karaoke night.
If my life had a soundtrack, oh my gosh. I wish I had a shirt that had every song I wanted, and I just pressed my shirt when I walked into situations.
I bet we could make that happen.
I need a shirt that plays music.
We could start a fund for this and try to throw something together for you, Virgan. It'll be the Virgan soundtrack shirt.
You could probably do it for like $20-$30. I'll be right back. Just a sec.
I'm gonna get a shirt though. So, relationships and gaming, and specifically in Star Wars: Old Republic. So there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of different ways you can build relationships in a game such as this, where you're a huge community, not just in the story of the game, but between players. So, because we have a very popular Redditor in our team, hi Saya, Swatarista, she posted a Reddit. She posted out to the Reddit this past week asking you, our community, hey, what's the relationships that you have had or dealt with through Star Wars: Old Republic? And so we've got a couple of these. We took the best of the posts, and we had so many replies. We thank everyone who contributed and gave a point of view, and a lot of good conversation was starting those threads. I was watching that. That was really kind of cool. But we pick a few that we thought we'd read from Reddit. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And so this is from Twig11. Says, I met a girl online in SWTOR. We were in a pretty terrible guild, but we got close and flirtatious. We became friends on Facebook, stayed talking a lot. We always played together because we both disliked most of our guild. She usually tanked and I healed. Oh, see, that's the dice. It's the tank and the heal. That dependency. That's nice.
Yeah.
The tank keeps me alive. The tank keeps the healer safe, and the healer heals the tank. We eventually started, quote-unquote, dating. We would have Skype dates and watch movies split screen from Netflix and time up the start times together. We even watched a couple of TV shows together each night until we fell asleep, and the best nights. We would wake up and still see the other person sleeping. It sounds super cheesy, but it was nice.
No, that is nice.
No, that really...
That's sweet.
It's like, that's actually kind of cute. I like that.
That's
all right.
not quote-unquote either. That's actually dating, in my opinion, just so you know.
Well, I'm
I know,
I'm adding my little inset, but that was a quote. Now, all of that is past tense because life happens and the distance wasn't totally working. She lives in Kentucky and I live in New Mexico. We are both students, so we couldn't afford to see each other in real life. It was in the plans though, but then we broke up. But we are still good friends and we still play, and we haven't dated anyone since we have dated each other. So it's almost like nothing has changed. We only talk in TeamSpeak now and not in Skype anymore, but it's still nice to have someone that knows all the nitty-gritty stuff in my life. I also can't forget and thank her enough for playing my account while I was out of the country for a month, right when the Life Day in the Green came around December of 2013. She even maxed out my rep, which I hated doing, so that was nice. She's still a good friend, and while I think she will remain that way for a while, I have no regrets and cannot wait until I see her in real life. So that actually to me is a good long-lasting. It's like, you know, it was really sweet, really romantic. It was a good dating. It really was dating, a good dating situation, but it was amicable in its breakup.
Yeah, I like that story specifically because it didn't work out for dating, but they got to stay friends. That was really nice.
Yeah,
that's rare.
That's definitely a great thing, and that's actually, I mean, you guys know I met somebody through our guild, and him and I aren't together anymore, but he lives with me, and we're like best friends. I mean, we talk constantly, so it's great.
So, well, that's good. And see, that. Oh yeah, duh. And that works out. You know, when that kind of thing works out, that's actually a good thing. You know, you hear so many times of relationships just going terribly bad. So I'm glad to hear, you know, that in the end it's still working out its own way. So, Laura, how about you read up the next one?
Sure. This one is from Ophi1988. And Ophi says, we started doing dailies practically every day together, and we both flirted back and forth, which I think is a great start because everybody hates dailies, and that makes it fun. Eventually, we started liking one another more than just friends, but there was an instant connection. At first, I was a little hesitant because I haven't had a long-distance relationship, but it honestly isn't too different. And that is true. I mean, if you can make it work, it's not that much difference, so that's definitely a sweet thing, too.
And, you know, with online relationships, when you meet people online, odds are you don't live even close to each other. I'll say right now, between three of us, myself, Saya, and Laurie, I don't think any of us is less than 12 hours apart from each other. I think
I'm in Canada.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And I'm in Florida. So right there, you start clicking that dot. If I want to see either of them, it's at least a 12-hour drive.
Let's meet in the middle. Everybody come to my house.
No, too far.
You have to drive somewhere. We're going to Nebraska.
Where's Nebraska?
It's in the center. Just Kansas, I mean. Throw a dart in the center of the United States, that's Kansas.
The Canadian. Where's
Sounds
Nebraska?
good.
Of course, me, the U.S. girl, sitting here asking the same question, but thankfully Saya asked it.
it's like so, Canadian, where's Nebraska? Wisconsin, where's Nebraska?
I know the states around me, so Minnesota and Michigan and Illinois, and that's it.
Go west of Michigan. You'll find Nebraska and Kansas over there.
West of Michigan is
West
me.
of Michigan is also a letter from Yamaru, and Yamaru said, I met my wonderful fiancé in a random lobby war zone 2 years ago. I just got my sub back for the first time after suffering through months of preferred status, and I was really hyped up to be able to play as much as I wanted again. I was on a healer Sorky, he was on a jug tank, and from the moment he put a guard on me, I was in love.
That is love.
Oh my gosh.
And they actually added a disclaimer, I'm not being funny. He was the best freaking tank I've seen up to date, and I immediately fell in awe and liked him very much. It took us months of friendship before we began a relationship. Now we live together and plan to marry next year. P.S. We lived in 2 different countries, so if not for Sotor, I would have never met the most wonderful person in my life.
Isn't that great?
Wow.
I think that's awesome. And I love that, they put that best freaking tank ever, because if you're a gamer, that's probably definitely something that attracts you to somebody right away, is their gaming capability.
These are good takes.
Oh, you kept me alive this whole war zone. It could be love.
It's good. I like the part that they would never have met if it wasn't for the fact they gamed together.
I know, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's definitely, yeah.
That to me is cool. I like that a lot. All right, and so our last Redditor for our little section here is from Sammy the Unicorn, and it says, my boyfriend and I met in SWTOR over 2.5 years ago and have been dating for 2 years and almost 2 months. It's also a long-distance relationship, with him being in Texas and me in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's long.
That's far.
Distance.
Wow.
That's long.
Where's Australia?
Australia is...
The other side of Europe
South
from
of
us.
Wisconsin?
Yes,
Southwest
it's
of
very
Wisconsin.
south of Wisconsin.
It's southwest of Wisconsin. I'll give you that
I
one.
think it's next to Florida.
It's southwest of Florida, too, I think.
Far from Texas is what I'm getting.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. It's out there. We've had some tough times, we've persevered. We hang out on Google Hangouts practically daily. We are meeting in person for the first time in March, with him coming over from Australia. That is awesome. We're both really excited to finally meet each other. That is awesome. Good luck. Zam, if you listen to this, good stinking luck.
That almost makes me want to
Hopefully you guys don't have
cry.
as much charisma in person.
That makes me want to cry happy tears for you guys. That will be absolutely amazing. Congratulations.
So, all right. So out and even in our Reddit community, it's obvious that people run into each other in these games. Gaming, can bring people together, especially in MMOs. The opportunity to meet people every day is huge. Now, I'm going to take it from a slightly different point of view, because I actually came to the game with a wife. I've been married to my lovely wife for about 8 years, and she does not game. So I live on the other side of that fence, where it's a balancing act to take my game time, which I really enjoy playing with my guild, but I also have a lovely wife who goes to bed with me each night and cooks me food, and I really want to keep her happy.
Does she listen to the podcast, Virgin? Is this why you're...
No, she comes and says hi sometimes. She's nice. This is Virgin.
Yeah,
I
she
know,
has- she
Mrs.
has-
Virgin, but that's just cute that you're like, she makes me dinner and comes to bed with me.
But no, she does. She hasn't listened to the podcast yet. She's not much of a podcaster. She actually does her own set of stuff. She has a small business she's starting to get off the ground right now, and so she's very busy. But it's just been an interesting time, because it does take balance, and the priority is still her. She's the one at the end of the day that is going to be with me no matter what. So. But she's very tolerant of me spending time with all my friends online. And she and Saya said she has sometimes, kind of piped in from before. She's a lot of fun. She'll mess with the people if I'm on Skype or if I'm on something that they can hear, if I don't have the TeamSpeak on push talk. because in her it is good fun. She knows that's my time to have fun. She has things she does to have fun, and it's a give and take. And I think every good relationship comes with that. Whether you're right next to each other, she's in the other room right now, I'm recording in the office, or whether you're half a world away in Texas and Australia, that give and take, it really does make a lot of things work fantastically. So going from there, let's look at companions. Now, before we go any further, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about companion romances, meaning that's going to be the end series of some companion side quests. So, just be advised.
Shut down your ears if you don't want to hear.
Put on your earmuffs, as they used to say when they were going to swear. I don't know.
So, who wants to start with it?
I actually put a thread out about this on Reddit, and there was a lot of companion relationships that people liked, and there was one that I really, really liked because I got a chance to play the Sith Inquisitor story as a female and got to romance up Mr. Andronicus.
Oh, Andronicus.
And this is what... He's handsome.
He is.
But this is what Third Dementor said about the relationship. Whatever.
No, that's Vector.
So Third Dementor said, I'm pretty surprised, but having recalled all the romances, my favorite is actually the female Inquisitor and Andronicus. It's not the most dramatic or deep. It's not even the most well-written, but something about this unlikely couple is just fun and thoroughly entertaining. I love how Andronicus is smart enough to respect the Inquisitor's power, but also crazy enough to date the Sith regardless, and the Sith Inquisitor is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Her voice actor is perfect. I also like how, to the surprise of both them and myself, their relationship remains stable throughout a long period of time as they discover that they have more in common than meets the eye. They're both crazy to some extent, both looking for their place in the world, and they both value their freedom above everything else. Beyond that, though, I think they find something more important in each other. They find someone who truly understands them, someone who won't judge. They may be a weird couple, but they're a good one.
I love the way, whatever the Redditor that wrote that, I love the way they wrote that. That is definitely an amazing explanation of it, because I actually, roleplay-wise, my counselor and my Sith assassin Inquisitor were the same person, just split. And this is her dark side. So I wanted to go completely dark 5. And when she goes dark 5, she is insane. And Andronicus still loves her through that. And you could be zapping somebody and you'll get points for Andronicus's loving you. And it's definitely it's a neat experience to watch. It's a very cute story.
That's cool.
Lara calls it cute as she's throwing out lightning at bad guys.
Hey, it is! Actually, that's a discussion V and I had all the time. Roleplay-wise, we would level together while we're romancing. Our two characters are romancing. So we're romancing RP while we're leveling my Inquisitor. And, when you have to destroy something, if you right-click it, your Inquisitor will destroy it with lightning. And his agent was a very techie, so he'd be like, must you always use lightning on this, darling? I mean, really? And she'd be like, yay, shocky, shocky!
I love we're going back to those basic words. Yay, shocky, shocky.
I think those were, and V's probably going to give me a lot of gut for this later, but I think those actually were her exact words at one point, where she was like, shocky, shocky, everything.
Shocky, shocky.
Shocky.
I will say that I have a bounty hunter, and Mako is a cool... okay, it's not the most exciting story, but I liked Mako from the very beginning. She's not every companion... Okay, not every class gets a great first companion as far as who really needs to help you, but a DPS bounty hunter gets a great first companion in Mako. I mean, it's just really a blessing to have someone heal your butt. But the story was actually really cool, and I kind of like how her story unfolded and the mystery of her as a person, and going between this world of I want to protect her, but I also want to let her do her own thing because she's independent and she doesn't want a lot of coddling. It was really cool. I like that one. So I went all the way through that one. That was really good. I don't know, any others you guys
I like Eric Jorgen, just because he's a cat.
Oh, I love Jorgen. I want furry babies with Jorgen.
Furry kitty babies. Other than that, I like him because it's a very troopery romance. You talk about how one day one of you could get in trouble out in the field, about how you could get deployed different places, and there's no beating around the bush about the fact that they're both very much soldiers and that they really respect each other for it. He starts off just hating you because of all the stuff with Havoc and how he got kicked out of his position, but his respect grows for you as you actually do a good job.
This is a total spoiler alert for this part, but I love the first time that you guys get intimate in the BioWare Fade to Black scene. He goes on the comm, like, behind your back, like, he pushes you up against the wall and presses the comm, and he's like, I want the entire crew to take a rest leave for the next 48 hours. You don't have to go back to your home planets, but you have to get off the ship. And I'm like, oh my! Like, I loved it. It was so funny. And that's another one that, I mean, like, I have this big problem where I gush over NPCs. I absolutely love them. I get, like, man crushes like nobody's business on these NPCs. And it's so funny because V made a trooper that is actually a Cathar. And I am not attracted to his trooper Cathar whatsoever. I'm like, no, I'm not doing a RP relationship with that one. I'm sorry, it's not happening. And he's like, but you like Jorgen. And I'm like, but that's different.
They're different. It drives me crazy. The Cathar, when I found out they're coming out, I was really excited because there is a Cathar on Ord Mantell very early in the story, and she is so pretty. She's got like this feline face. She's got like these perfect, awesome eyes. But they're not the same. They're very different from the models in game, from what you can design on the character designer. It drives me bonkers.
I decided to make my trooper a male Cathar just to show. Boy, I'll tell you what, the difference is jarring. It is impressively weird.
Speaking of my gushing problem, if we're going into the NPC things, so there's two NPCs that I really, really, really love. I love Quinn like nobody's business, and V has a warrior, and I have not made a warrior yet. So V and I will be in our stronghold, and he won't think about it, and he'll have Quinn out, and I'll be like, hi Quinn, how are you? And so what does V do? He turns around and pulls out big fluffy Broodmark and goes, there you go honey, how do you feel about that now? And I'm like, oh, that's no fun, bring out the hot guy. that's his little, that's our fun back and forth. Like, he always picks on me about my NPC crushes. He'll be like, well, I'm never gonna look like one of your NPCs. And I'm like, that's okay, I love you the way you are. And then, like, he'll pick on me, like, bring out Broodmark, or there's a couple storylines where you get to romance one of the NPCs, and if you're in a group, you get the choice of, keeping them alive or killing them. If I think they're cute, V will almost always take the option of killing them in front of me, and then make them dead. I'm like, that's not fair. So, I mean, it's fun. There's a lot of really, really good-looking gentlemen NPCs in the game, I must say.
I've been amused by some of the flirt options that come with Theron and Lana if you're in a group with somebody else. So me and someone else will go in the group together, and it's always a fight. Who gets to flirt with her? Because it's not like who romances her or Theron better. It's just who wins the role, and then they get the girl or the guy.
Oh yeah, I like how you can flirt with both of them at the same time, and you'll be like, you're like, so who missed me more? And Theron will look at you, and Lana will get the look on her face, and Theron will be like, moving on, we're going into this topic now. And it's so funny how nervous they get.
I love that part.
And I flirted with Lana on my Imperial side. See, alright, so I play all males. All my characters are male because when I play the game, I like to put myself in the position of the person I'm playing. So I have no female characters because after 8 years of marriage, just one thing I know, and it's a true fact, I do not understand the mind of a woman. So, to put myself in a woman's position in game would just be a farce. It'd be a very manly woman. It just ain't gonna fly. So, I play guys. So, I did not romance Theron, but I did romance Lana. And I'll say this, it works. Unfortunately, I did it with my bounty hunter, who had already finished the line on Mako, so I felt kind of wrong about it. Because,
but that's
I'm a two-time bounty hunter.
See, that's what kind of upsets me, though, about the expansion, is the new expansion is great, but your companions have no reaction whatsoever, and it's no fun, because I always loved how Corso gets so jealous when you flirt with him, which, by the way, is another one of my favorite companion romances, is Corso the dumb farm boy. But, like, so he always gets jealous if you flirt with somebody else. So, like, I brought him out because I'm like, oh, I'm going to flirt with Darren in front of him and I'm going to see what happens because I already finished my story with him. And they have no reaction one way or the other. Like, I wish that was something they would have added, was to give the companions some reaction. But they don't have any.
I never thought about that. Because I did my trooper story like 2 years ago and I completely forgot that I romanced Eric Jorgen. I had him with me and I'm like flirting up with Lana and Theron indiscriminately and he's just like standing there like, haha, purr.
Yeah, like they don't have any reaction at all and it makes me really sad. But yeah, I mean, if you guys don't mind, there's one other romance that one of our guildies talks about that's absolutely hilarious when he talks about it. So Alara for the male troopers. She's very prim and proper, obviously. And
by the rules!
Yes. So one of our guildies, and I'm not going to name him because he's so funny, he gets really shy. One of our guildies made the comment about how apparently him and a friend were talking that play the game, and we're talking about if you sleep with her, that she would be saying all of the regulations you're breaking by having the relationship and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are terrible. But it's so funny when he talks about it. It's hilarious. I'm like, you have a problem if you've thought that far through. I'm just saying.
Wow, I like that. That's kind of cool. Well, it just says they put a lot of thought into I'll say some, just like some of the stories are better than others, based on your point of view. Some of the companion romance options are better than others.
Oh, yeah.
Again, based on your point of view. All right, so... and the other one I have is Kaleo. Well, I'm going to go into that one.
She's crazy!
She's nuts, man.
I'll tell you this. Kaleo is interesting. I somehow got through that entire chain and did not die. So,
how? Lots of gifts.
I'm very convincing, and I have a lot of, as Liam Neeson would say, I have a particular set of skills.
Oh gosh.
That involved not dying, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. I have a very specialized set of skills.
That reminds me. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of crazy, how have we not brought up Bug Boy yet? Just saying. He's a very wonderful...
Bug Boy!
I have not gotten far with him because, like I said, I'm working on my agent right now, and she's only like a level 30, which, by the way, another topic, I have not picked an advanced class for her. She is literally just an Imperial agent at like level 33, and she's going to stay that way until 60.
Yeah, boss at Warzones?
I haven't done any Warzones yet, but I imagine that will happen, and it'll be kind of hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I might be that troll, So if you see like a level 30 or 40 Imperial agent in a Warzone, it's probably me. Feel free to tunnel me. I don't care. It'll be funny. But yeah, like I haven't gotten very far. I've just met Vector, and I was like, he's really, really cute. And V's like, he's a bug. So,
yeah, he's really cute except for the eyes. I don't think I can get past the eyes.
I think
I love you, but not as much as I love the hive.
Oh my gosh! When you're talking to him, he's like, there's a mating season or something going on, and then he talks about how pheromones are running high, and he's like, you wouldn't want to partake in this, would you? And she's like, no, I don't want to know what's going on,
Don't want to get it on with bugs, but it's a sacred tradition.
Maybe if it's Vector, I'll get it on with a bug, but... but that's as close as it gets.
Oh, that is the end of it right there. The end. Bug boy. No bug boy. No bug boy. This is one of those things like, you could never do this in the real world. You could never have a relationship with a guy who's part bug.
But he's so cute, though! though. He's really handsome. He really is. And V makes fun of me so bad for saying that, but he is very handsome. He actually, in my opinion, I think he looks like Quinn, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I think him, and depending on what appearance modification you use on Quinn, I suppose, but I think he looks like Quinn.
He looks like Quinn if you change him a bit.
You know what I mean? He looks like V's Quinn, because at first I called him Vector, and V's like, no, that's Quinn, and I'm like, oh, okay. He's still cute though. Whoever he is, he's still good looking. I don't care about the name. You're just hot.
Alrighty, and with that, that's actually a good point, I think, to stop our Galactic Gossip for this episode. And actually, so our next segment, as we mentioned last episode, Chronicles of Coruscant Courier Service is at the end of each month, so it'll be back in at the last Saturday in February, or 2 weeks from now. Will be that episode will have Coruscant Courier Service. So we thought today, instead, that we would go ahead and collect some interviews from different members of our guild who are in different types of relationships. Some in-game, some out-of-game, some both. So sit back and relax and listen to a few of the interviews from our guild members about relationships and Star Wars: The Old Republic. Enjoy.
I'm here today with Orlin and Azra from our guild, Remnants of Hope. They joined together when our guild. They didn't apply separately. They've been together for quite a while. I'm going to be talking to them about their relationship together, as well as with SOTOR, the game we all play all the time. Now, Orlin and Azra, how did you guys meet?
Actually, I joined the guild that Azra was an officer on Gonzalo's was the server, right? Yes? Maybe?
Yes.
Okay. Gotta remind me of these things. I've played too many games. Yeah, so I just happened to get invited to the guild that he was in.
Hey, it was the Sheehan Order. We were around for probably 5 months, I think, before she joined. A relatively small but growing guild, and we just began playing together more and more and more. It was a friendship, and we, I think, had every intention of it being just that, but it, of course, grew to more than that.
And how did you guys know that you wanted to have more than just a friendship? And what kind of activities did you do before you actually got together as a couple?
Do you want me to answer this one? We PvP'd together all the time, and it was just something we did. And with guild groups or pickups, whatever. I think we did a few operations. Those aren't really my thing, so I was more dragged than anything else. But the whole reason we kind of realized that something was there, it's actually kind of funny because we were grouped, and Zeki used to be on our server with us, and he's like, oh, let's go Warzone. And I was like, okay. Well, then he invites me to the group, and then immediately we get queued, and that's when I realized she was there, and I was like, wait, what? And I got all jealous and pissy and freaking left the group and walked off the game.
So it didn't really start very well then.
No, not really.
Well, it was, everything was great, really. You know, it was just that was the moment that when, jealousy kind of gave the indicator that there was much more going on than either of us realized. And then we started to explore that. So, thankfully.
Definitely a good thing. So who approached who? Who said, I got feelings for you first?
That would have been me. It took her about 5 days, I think, to say the words back.
So Orlin, you just left poor Azra hanging for almost a week?
Well, we still talked, but yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm very private, close-knit about my feelings. So I tend to just hold things inside until I'm extremely comfortable saying what I need to say or I want to say. I think too much, I think, would be the problem. So, yeah. He had to stay. And I think it was almost a week, but if you say 5 days, then okay.
All right, so you two met online, and you've been together ever since. But you don't live together or even particularly near each other. How is that?
Well, it's really not that bad. We're only about 3 hours apart. I make the trip up when I can, and when her work schedule allows, which is the biggest thing that we have to schedule around. So honestly, it's not that bad.
He's lying. It's awful.
It could be a lot worse.
It could be a lot worse. I agree.
What did you do when you found out that you actually did live near each other? Did that factor into things at all? It's different when you're in different countries
we
or
already
different
knew,
states.
like, there's been, like, even now, everyone's like, oh, where's everybody from? And it's just one of those things that, like, we already knew where the other one lived. So, I don't know. It didn't change anything, really.
I think it made it easier. We might not even have considered the option if we were too far away. Perhaps it's hard to tell. It worked out how it did, so I'm glad.
It's definitely a lucky coincidence, or maybe it's not luck. I don't know, but I'm just going to accept it and say it's a great thing. All right, so we already know that you guys have been playing together for a long time. You guys play every day. I see you online together in Warzone. Sometimes you join us for ops every once in a while. You guys spend a lot of time decorating your house together. What do you think are some of the benefits that you guys get because you play together as a team?
Well, case in point, we want to start running ranked. Azra and I have not only played Tor together, but we did play Terra for a little while. We've played... I got him to play World of Warcraft with me for a bit, and was there something else? Am I missing a game? Or is it just those two?
Elder Scrolls Online we played together.
Yeah, see? Yeah, we went and played Elder Scrolls for a little bit too. But he has started playing tank for me because I always play a healing class, and so as far as like we know what the other one's going to do without even having to talk anymore, which makes it easy when we run Flashpoints or we're running Warzones together. Because I have this bad habit of targeting the target he has without even thinking about it when we're just DPSing mobs down and stuff. But we have that communication level now too from playing together for so long that we make a really good team regardless of what we're doing. So that's definitely a big plus. Like I hate playing a Warzone and him being on the other team because I know even though he doesn't want to attack me, it's going to happen inevitably, and I'm going to end up dying because he's good at his class and he also knows how to go against me because we've been playing together for so long.
Yeah, that's true. I hate going up against her. We make a great team together, like she said, because we, know what the other one is going to do. We know how each other react when we're in any type of duress. So I know when she's going to take off running, and I have to go chasing after her with a guard. There's just something. When you play with someone for an extended period of time where you don't even have to coordinate too much in lengthy words anymore, and you just become a very good team, and that's what we have, and it's pretty awesome.
Now, you've got benefits, and you clearly have them between the two of you. Your communication, you're working together, you're watching out for each other. Is there any downsides to both of you being really big gamers?
Competitiveness.
Yes.
Sometimes tempers will flare over something like a video game. And so we're both very competitive when it comes to player versus player. So, it's not like we ever get angry at each other. It's just we will voice our opinions sometimes.
Yeah, like when you go and heal, and as there's the jack of all trades, He's a good tank, good DPS. He is a good healer, even though he won't admit it. So when he gets on his healer and I'm attempting to tank or DPS, and attempting is probably better than I'm absolute failing is what I'm doing. But I get really upset because he pulls in these good numbers and then he says, no, I'm not as good as you. I'm not. Yeah, you are. I mean, I know my class probably a bit better and I can get myself out of a sticky situation better than he can, but he can heal just as well as I can. So I get a little annoyed and frustrated when he goes on his healers, because then that little part of me is like, no one's going to want to bring me if they know what a good healer you are. And I get stupid. And then I get angry and I pout for a few minutes and I get over it and we go back to what we were doing.
She is a better healer, though, for the record.
Shut up.
All right, I've got one last question for you guys. Orlin, you've got another separate Sator love in your life. Who is that, and what do you do with him?
My son plays. Actually, he hasn't been on for a month because I've caught him twice now past bedtime, hiding with the laptop on tour. He's sneaky enough to make sure he's on whatever faction I am not playing. But lately he hasn't been allowed on. But when he is on, anytime I get extra, he loves to decorate, just like I do. In fact, like you said, decorating together earlier, I decorate and then I make Azra look over stuff. He doesn't even decorate his own houses. I do it for him. So I log onto his account. But my son loves to decorate. So I save up any extra house decorations and stuff I get for him. I buy him the really cool mounts and some of the nice hair stuff when he doesn't spend all of his own cartel coins. But my son is very, I can do this, I got this, I want to kill everything, so sometimes it's frustrating to play with him, but actually it's cute. He spends more time with Azra in the game than he does with me, so him and Azra play together a lot, and they use Skype and stuff too, so I'm done.
Yeah, we do play a bit together. We haven't here recently for the reasons that she just talked about, but yeah, the thing he loves to do is to go get his starship on his alts. He loves the starship, so we'll level up his character to the point where he can get the starship after Coruscant, and then it's on to the next character that he's made. So he's pretty cute.
There is no in-game progress with him.
All right, that's going to wrap up this interview. Thank you very much, Orlin and Azra, and I'll see you in a Warzone.
Hey everyone, Virgin here with another interview, and I am pleased that I could get a chance to talk to Laurie and her boyfriend V. Welcome to the show.
Well, I'm always on the show.
It's good to have you back, Laurie, and welcome V.
Thanks.
All right, so this is a show about relationships, and so instead of the Coruscant Courier Service, we're going to do a couple of questions with some of the couples in game, and you guys are a well-known couple in our guild, and so I thought we'd ask you a couple questions, if that's okie dokie. So, first things up is, how did you meet? Did you actually meet in Star Wars Old Republic?
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. I reached out to Lori questioning about the guild to actually ask her about RP questions, and she was very informative. So that's how we first met.
Informative meaning I gave him my saleswoman spiel because it was it was maybe 3 days after I had become roleplay officer, and I was overly excited, so I was like, roleplay in our guild is like this and this and this and this and this. And
well, and I remember when I was in recruitment, I had a lot of interviewees, and they're like, who do you remember from the guild? Laurie. She's very outgoing, and she's very friendly.
I'm a loudmouth.
Well, you've been friendly with a whole lot of people. So it made perfect sense that V would turn to you for RP-related questions. So when did y'all decide from, okay, I need some help with RP, to, I think we're more than just fellow players, I think we could have something here? When did that kind of come about?
It was honestly, it was just a natural progression. Just spend a lot of time together, time in game, equated then to time talking about life, and and then inadvertently learning about each other. So for me, I can't. I mean, she might be able to give an exact time, but it just sort of became, and the discussions got more oriented to life beyond Tor.
For me, when I realized I wanted to start dating him was, I needed an assistant. And it was like the day after his trial, I made him my assistant. And we started talking more and more. And I was like, I really, really, really like him. And I told like 10 or 15 people in the guild that I liked him. And I think you were even one of them, Virgin, that I was like, I like him, but I don't know if I should tell him. And so, I mean, it was kind of just working closer together. And then, with working in roleplay, we have to write stories. So we started talking outside of the game. So that's what happened.
That's awesome. That's a nice way for relationships to grow. And I don't remember the day that I first started thinking that I would start dating the woman who's now my wife. I just started doing it.
Yeah.
So there's not a cutoff. It was kind of a growth in progress. So I completely understand that.
Organic progression. Yeah.
Organic progression. There you go.
We're plants now.
So as far as I'm aware, this is a long distance relationship, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how do you guys deal with some of the pain in the butt things that come from having a long distance relationship?
I mean,
It's all about communication. So, I mean, that's the bottom line. It's the only way that you can manage something like this, even long distance friendships, long distance relationships, whatnot. It's all about being open and communicating, expressing needs or whatnot. So we speak pretty much daily, beyond what game time we get, but that's a big part of it.
I think he makes it really easy because I've noticed he always makes sure no matter what is going on with him, he finds some way at some point in the day, whether it's just like a Facebook message, a text message, or calling me on his ride home from work. He makes sure I hear from him somehow, some way, at least once a day, and it's nice to have that there, to know that he's there.
That's nice, and that's a good way to get in touch with each other. That's awesome. Now, I imagine that you do spend time together in game. So, what are some of the neat or fun things you guys have done as game dates? I guess you could say.
The tour of McCab. I don't know. I've taken.
I hated McCab, and he's like, "No, you'll love it. Trust me." So so he took me to all the waterfalls in McCab, and we had like a little RP picnic underneath one of the waterfalls where we just kind of talked and had a good time. And then I think my favorite one was Ilum, when he took me to Ilum and took me. Yeah, you remember that? It was like right when we first started dating. He took me to see this like skyline that was just absolutely beautiful. I could never find it again by myself, but it was a lot of fun.
Now, in our previous episode 5, Laura, you mentioned a lot of the gift giving and gift receiving back and forth. You gave that fantastic hut, carbonite hut.
Oh, the carbonite hut! Don't remind me that that was a bad idea. I should have never done that.
I understand V has given you like the tauntauns and this back and forth. What is the coolest gift you've given each other in game?
The carbonite hut. That was the coolest gift. So
that is spectacular, I have to admit.
That's my. I'm good now. I had a carbonite hut.
I think that one's hard to describe because he's given me so much. I mean, I always scold him because it's like every time I get into game, there's something. He's like, "Oh, I just had it laying around my legacy storage or something," and I'm like, "There's no way you have this much in your legacy storage that you're finding 3 months later and giving to me." But
be surprised.
But I think my favorite thing is that would be a little one. I think my favorite thing is probably I think it was one of the Tauntauns I wanted really bad that was available on the cartel market. Or was it? No, it was the Uxie Beast. I wanted the Uxie Beast, but I wanted the blue one, and it was like 4 million credits or something like that. And so he got together with one of his friends and surprised me for my birthday at one of our strongholds, had like a small birthday party for me with a bunch of our friends showing up there to just celebrate it, and got me an Uxie Beast. Actually, both of the Uxie Beasts, so I think that was my favorite.
Well, and actually, this brings me to... Okay, so this show is broadcasting on Valentine's Day. So, V, this is for you, actually, because you're good at gift giving. You give a ton of them. And us guys, we sometimes hit, sometimes miss. So, what is your... I guess your modus operandi. How do you decide what to get Laurie, and how do you get about getting it? Do you have like 20 million credits in your bank? How are you getting all this stuff?
Yes, do tell.
I'm resourceful, and I have all the crafters in game, so if I want to buckle down and make some credits, I can make some credits. So that's pretty much how that rolls. So
the crafting game is a good game.
It is.
Yep.
Do you always get a good response from Laurie with your gifts? Like, have you ever, like, been slightly off? It's like, oh, I was close.
Don't think so, but, she loves Tauntauns, so I sort of know I have a feel for what she's going to like. I mean, I wouldn't go and buy her a carbonite thing, to be sure. That would be an epic fail.
I hate carbonite things. I think if he ever got me a carbonite thing, I would be like, nope, we're done. It's over. Nope.
Well, and I have to say, the nice thing about Laurie is that, as far as I know what you like and what you don't like, because you pretty much say it out loud. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty outspoken about what I want. Like, especially if new packs come out or something, I'll be like, I really want this.
Yep, that is true.
So, for all y'all listening, do like V, pay attention, because I'm sure Laurie's not the only girl in creation that says, "Ooh, I want this." Guys,
indeed, it knows.
he's definitely good at paying attention. I think and the me liking the Tauntaun thing. That is how he did. Like, he actually made me cry, and it wasn't even something that was between us personally. It was just we were role playing, and I ended up crying because we were at the stronghold, and he's like, "Hang on a second." I'm like, "Okay," and then his character came out with a baby Tonlet that was it the one that was from the Cantina tours, hun? That I'm like absolutely in love with?
Yeah.
I think it was that one. Came out with that and said that it had a bow wrapped around its neck with a ring, and that's how his character proposed to mine. And it wasn't between us, like it was just like a roleplay thing, but it made me cry so bad. It was like the sweetest thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, that is sweet. Dude, you rock. All right. So, speaking of RP, actually, that gets me to the last bit of our interview. So, and Laurie mentioned that you guys, your RP characters, you have characters that are together and they share housing. Are all your characters connected? What about the characters that don't connect? Like, I know that there's Sith Laurie or Pub Laurie or someone is married to Coda and other things like that. How does that all work together in the land of RP?
I mean, we're all friends, so I don't know. I don't really think it bothers V all that much. Coda and Pub Laurie were like married before V and I ever even met, and it's just kind of like I don't know, it's just kind of like that's a separate storyline. That's how that one goes. And then this is how ours goes, and maybe ours has a little more something into it because him and I are together, whereas mine and Coda's is really just a storyline and that's it.
That's about right.
And Coda does tell a good story. I mean, Coruscant Courier Service. I gotta give the boy credit. He's got skills.
Well, he's a screenwriter, so.
I'm glad to have him on our team. So, that's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you guys wanted to share while we're here?
I don't. Hun, do you have anything?
I think I'm good. I think that's everything I can think of.
All right, then that sounds like a plan for me. Thank you both for joining me for this awesome Valentine's Day episode. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see y'all next time. All right, and we're back, and we hope that you enjoyed those interviews. And it's just nice to hear other people's point of views and to kind of get a little love from our other guild members. So that's going to be it for episode number 6. The love episode, Valentine's Day happiness. If you'd like to join us on the Jung Moss server, look for our Republic Guild, Remnants of Hope, or our Imperial Guild, Vestige of Despair. You can find guild information at rementsofhope.com and follow the guild on Twitter at ROHSWOTOR. This and other episodes of our podcast can be found at hopecastgamers.com, and as always, you can email the show at swotorhopecast@gmail.com. And with that, I'm Varigan.
And I'm Saya.
And I'm Laurie.
And until next time, may the Force be with you. And remember, the couple that games together usually ganks each other in PvP. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
You have been listening to the Star Wars Hopecast, part of the Remnants of Hope game community.